if Kamala Harris wins the election this week, will you and the right accept it?
But that's a loaded bullshit question.
That's the same to Stephen.
If they win a gold medal in the Olympics, will you accept that Russia won the swimming?
Does Gavin McInnes really want to hurt Destiny? I saw this on my feed this morning on YouTube, and I was just thinking about old McInnes. I was wondering if he was still popping around. Many people like him now, but we all used to love Gavin McInnes. He was madcap. He was pushing the boundaries. He was genuinely funny. And now that the election is coming up in 2 days, so probably tomorrow by the time you see this as well, political stuff. So he's talking to Destiny, the hot-headed, I would say, centrist leftist, alt-right versus alt-left debate here. Well, I want to take a look at this and see where they're at. McInnes, as we all know, or maybe not, is the real beginning of the Proud Boys. I actually watched him start to put this together on one of his first, I think the first podcast of his longer running podcast that's still running now, I imagine. And he laid down his decree about the West is the best and we believe in this and we don't like this and we want strong borders or whatever it might be. And he was kind of laying it out for the Proud Boys. And that began the Proud Boy tradition, which is, I imagine, still alive and well today, if not underground. So he really went from this very funny, edgy, rascal into this, forefather of the alt-right. So if you look at old Gavin, you search for Gavin McInnes, he's on TEDx. I mean, that's kind of a big deal, He's on the Hodge twins. I love the Hodge twins. It's just pure go along for the ride stuff with those boys. I don't know what they believe in today. It's been a long time. I remember McInnes on Joe Rogan. It was a big deal. He's revisiting that here. He was funny. He seemed like he was, a bit caged, I would say, kind of running out to the end of the BS, so to speak. That's the impression I got from him, but I enjoyed the podcast. I'm just curious. I'm interested in guys like this who are just so out there. It's like if someone can see right through a scam or some kind of fraud, but just enjoy watching how the fraud and the scam and scheme comes together. It's interesting. It's kind of like being a writer or being an editor and reading or something or watching something and saying, I want to see how they put this formula story together. I'm interested in seeing the formula of how they took the formula and what they did in the writing. And if you'll notice, there really is no Gavin channel on YouTube because he's been kicked off. And if I search for Gavin McInnes Rumble, Rumble is basically a place where kicked off YouTubers kicked off YouTube will go as kind of a sanctuary, safe haven. And it's filled with a lot of conservative right-winged extremism, etc. And probably maybe leftism too. I don't know. I haven't checked it out. But if you find anything Gavin McInnes, anything you click on in Indonesia and Rumble, Indonesia doesn't even let me get on there. So, I have to go into a VPN to get onto Rumble because Rumble is that divisive in Indonesia. And I don't like that Indonesia blocks it, but they do. They block Rumble and they block Reddit and a lot of pornography. Prawn. So now that we're connected, so probably somewhere else in Indonesia I'm connected. It gets us right on. Gavin McInnes Archives. Okay, I don't know if this is official channel or not, but how to piss in public. Oh, great. I mean, yeah, I'm not a big fan of being labeled a sex offender if you're pissing. If you piss and you're drunk in public or something like that, that's silly. But okay, here we go. Gavin McInnes, you're not plus size, you're dying. Just going for the gut on things. Whether you agree with him or not, he really just goes for the gut. Outrage, extremism in one view. And Destiny could easily be called the opposite of that as well. Just extremism in one view. He doesn't like to shake hands with the people he debates with anymore. He does it reluctantly, but he doesn't like to say, "Oh, that's good that we've gotten together and had this conversation." He's like, "No, I don't want to be that guy who says, "Oh, I'm just glad we got to talk." He's genuinely pissed at all these people. Oh, look, Gavin made it on Matan's podcast. Oh, it's not that long ago. I'll have to watch it. There he is. So anyway, that's where we're at with him. This gentleman, Eli Hassel. You can watch the whole video at Eli Hassel's channel. Please do. And just
So with the American election happening in the coming days, I'm
Comment on it.
speaking to social media personality Destiny, otherwise known as Stephen Bonnell, his real name, and Gavin McInnes, founder of the Proud Boys, a far-right organization designated terrorist group in Canada and New Zealand. So,
Oh, look, they all have the same big stick energy, man. They all got the same microphone as I do, man. All right, guys.
let's get started. We'll talk about Trump and we'll talk about Kamala Harris. So let's start with Trump. Gavin, we'll start with you. So Trump is currently in several court cases of being accused of rape, election interference, and
right away.
Rape. Wow.
Rape. Right away, the MC is he seems a little nervous, a little green. I think he's definitely happy that he's got this level of profile on his show. Immediately, he shocked McInnes with the calling charges against Donald Trump. One of them, rape.
Of being accused of rape, election interference, and different things.
Rape. Wow.
Isn't he not? And what do you think of all of this, and why are you supporting him?
I just realized I dislike Destiny quite a bit because he represents this sort of cuck culture. But I realized I hate British.
All right, right away. This is why I want to record this, because he just goes for the gut. McInnes goes for the gut, and there's going to be gut punches. And if anyone can take it, honestly, it is Destiny. I think he just gets gutted all the time. But again, Destiny isn't full. Stephen Bonnell isn't full left. He really isn't.
But I realize I hate British people even more. You're all retarded. You're the victims of your BBC government-funded propaganda. Rape? He was charged with rape. One thing you have to understand is our justice system is fucking garbage.
All right, so McInnes is absolutely from Gen X. Fuck the establishment. I'm tired of this boomer shit. Eat my shorts, stuff. Simpsons came out as a result of it. I was influenced by it because I was a kid, but he definitely is this Bart Simpson character, and he's immediately just bashing not only Destiny, but he's bashing British people, which I guess this guy is British. I wasn't sure if he was British or maybe like Swedish or something, because I haven't heard him enough. But right away, okay. Anyway, it's funny, but I think he's serious, and that's a lot of what Joe Rogan was saying about him. Was just like, what is this guy? This guy, it's almost like he's. I can talk about it later. I want to verify this before I start going off in his mental state.
Our judges are retarded. So when you hear someone has been accused or someone's going to court or someone was sentenced or someone's in jail, it doesn't mean they're guilty. It means they're victims of lawfare. And Trump has been a victim of lawfare since he started running in 2016. In 2015, he was a victim of lawfare.
So the election. So let's talk about the election interference one. So he called up the Georgia governor and asked to find 11,700 votes, if I'm correct.
Okay, and this MC also is not being soft. I don't think he's trying to not be soft. I just think he's just very green. I mean, he's moving from rape to asking for Trump and is asking for X thousands of votes so that he can win the election. So these guys are, what a group. Wait till we hear what Destiny has to say, but they're really just going right for it, Gavin with his Budweiser telling everyone how much he hates everybody, he hates Destiny, and he hates British people. And the MC, I want to name him properly, that's just not right, Eli, Mr. Hassel, Mr. Hassel is, and I'm not trying to be funny, Mr. Hassel, I think, he's just immediately meandering through the biggest talking points when it comes to accusations of Trump, etc. Great, let's go.
Yes, he was aware that the election was stolen, and it was. And now, just saying that is considered a crime. I mean, you get sued to bankruptcy for pointing out that the election was stolen. He asked the governor to find the votes that had been stolen. And I think Dinesh D'Souza's movie, 2,000 Mules, perfectly summarizes how the election was stolen.
Destiny, I guess. Steven, sorry, do you want to respond?
Yeah, Steven's good. I don't even know.
You're not going by Destiny anymore?
No, I'm not a professional gamer anymore. I don't even know where to start.
He's scoffing at, see, he's a gamer, folks, as he drinks his American Budweiser.
Trump was convicted in front of a jury. So, if you don't like the fact that a jury convicts somebody of a crime.
Well, that means he's guilty.
by
You know how many
definition,
of my friends
what do you think
have
guilty
gone
means?
to jail for bullshit?
Probably none. Honestly, if they're your friends, they probably deserved it. And then this idea that Dinesh...
All right, this, if anything, this is going to be a spicy debate. Man, this is not shaking hands here. I love this. All right, let's go.
1,000 Mules movie would like proved anything. What a joke of a horrible fucking movie. The producers actually delisted it because that movie was such dog shit, and they didn't want any they didn't want civil liability for being sued over it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You get sued.
Yeah, when you tell lies, about people, you get sued for it. It's called defamation.
No, you're lying right now. These are lies.
What am I lying?
The election was stolen.
Never.
Really?
The election
We can't even get anywhere in the debate right away. It's let's get to the foundation of it. Right away, we're going to foundation. You're lying right this second. Okay, what is a lie? Let's go to the Himalayas, check into a Dzogchen Tibetan Buddhist temple, and ask ourselves, what is a lie?
Wait, where was the evidence for that? Why have 3 attorneys been disbarred? What?
Our only hope is to be too big to rig. That's our only hope this election, because you're going to rig it again. You people.
Too big to rig. That must be I want to let you know real quick. I do want to let you know that I am a centrist, and I can't even say I lean left. I can't, because I lean right and I lean left. Depends on the day. Depends on my temperature, And I know Trump is he's a bullshitter. Don't take him seriously, but take him seriously. And Kamala is all over the place, but her policies seem a bit more sane. Trump, if anything, I would say literally, I would be much more open to voting for him if he didn't try to overturn the election. And I don't believe that the election was rigged, only because there's really no evidence that is able to get down to an actual atom of truth. And there's way more evidence that gets down to an atom of truth that, that didn't happen. No, this functions this way. No, these papers never, whatever it might be. I'm not saying it's absolutely end of story. We know everything about how votes are counts, because I don't. Maybe we do as a collective, but I don't. But whatever it is they're saying, I haven't just seen any proof. And I'm very open. I'm very willing to see it. I'm in the middle. Show me. To give something to the right, I'm really not into the whole woke thing. I'm not. I think we're all human beings. And anyway, so I just want to get that out of the way.
How was it rigged in 2020?
He has no answer. There's no answer. There's just a cucked response. They're just mad that their Big Daddy Trump lost.
Are you calling me a cuck?
Yes, you are a cuck for Trump. Yes. You like to sit in the corner.
You let men fuck you in the ass, and you're not even gay.
First of all, even if I did let men fuck me in the ass, that's not cuckoldry. You know what cuckoldry is?
I predicted your divorce to the minute, and you're calling me a cuck? You're in the dictionary.
A cuck and a rapist. Yeah.
Okay,
so let's go back to Trump.
We're doing Jerry Springer here, man.
So let's talk about. So he was in court.
Good job, MC. We got to the bottom of that. Well, let's go back to Trump.
Guilty. Are you saying that's not, Gavin? Are you saying that's not actually counted to what happens in court?
Okay, this is how retarded both of you are. By the way, you're both on the left.
No, I want to take some weight off of Gavin McInnes for saying retarded. Destiny constantly calls people retards, so
Can tell. You said
you can adjust your scores accordingly.
E. Jean Carroll says that Trump jumped her bones in a changing room. E. Jean Carroll's dog is named Penis. Her cat is named Vagina. She painted all the trees in her yard blue. She is a crazy old cat lady. The dress that she says he ejaculated on wasn't made by DKNY during that time. She refuses to have it DNA tested. That is the level of lunatic that is allowed to go to court and win an $85 million settlement against Trump. That's where our justice system is at when they've decided there's a bad guy. And all of those other charges, he overvalued his real estate. But everyone does that, and the bank does their due diligence. These two, as the Supreme Court called them, sophisticated parties, were well aware of what was going on. They got paid back, but they go to prison. Just like in Britain, where fucking Tommy Robinson goes to jail because his brother-in-law wasn't totally honest about his mortgage loan that he paid back. So both two-tier Kier over in your shithole island and our destroyed country.
See, this is what I think people just really like this kind of. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm going to just go right at you. And that's why I'm just going to go right at you and punch you in the dick. And that's why people like Trump. They like Trump because that's what he did. And that's why people, I mean, I like this guy, right? But would I make him in charge of operations, at my taco shop? Probably not. Would I have him represent the messaging of my corporation? Probably not. But I enjoy watching him. And eventually I'm going to start going, yeah, that makes sense,
Garbage law, the same garbage court system. It's a disgrace.
First of all, how does her dog's name got to do with the court case?
What do you say?
What?
You mentioned what her dog's and cat's name was.
Well, I'm describing the level of lunatic who we take seriously in American courts. She is she said women enjoy rape, by the way. I could talk about E. Jean Carroll for days, but I hope those small examples illustrate how fucking insane she is. She's a lunatic, and she won. And that's how you see Trump as a rapist. Stormy Daniels, he never even fucked Stormy Daniels. He paid her a nuisance fee to get her out of his hair, like all famous people do. In Hollywood, you allot a certain amount of money for the crazy bitches that say you molested them.
No, you don't.
Grand.
No, you don't do that.
Yeah, you do.
No,
See your problem. You know what your problem is, Steve?
No, you don't.
You don't exist.
You don't do
You're
that.
Chat GPT.
Honestly, I can't say anything about that because I don't know. And he's going, no, you don't. It's kind of the first time I've heard it put that way. But I know, say in Mexico, back to a taco shop, my friend had a taco shop. She was the owner of this taco shop, and there was many employees working for her. And she just put it, I would say, in the business plan, or she just put it in the budget that there's going to be money stolen. And she wouldn't even fire people who she knew was stealing money. It's just when they steal just over the line, that's when she has to say, okay, you're fine. You got to go, man. You did too much. I mean, I know you're going to do it, but you got a little greedy. Now you got to go. So I know that does happen for sure, at least in Mexico in taco shops of my friend. I don't know, Destiny.
Don't do
You don't know people.
I do know people, bro. What are you talking about?
You've never been in a fight.
Kevin, you're a broke fucking loser nobody who is fucking... I don't even know where the fuck you live right now. Like...
You don't know people. You don't know the world. So everything you get is from online.
I know plenty of people.
AI.
I know plenty of people
You're
that
in the
know you too,
uncanny
Gavin.
valley.
I know so much about you from
don't
people that I
relate
know
to
behind the
people.
scenes, Gavin. You're
You
a piece of
haven't
shit.
lived.
You're a
haven't
scumbag.
lived.
Not the life that you have, apparently. I mean, I'm kind of happy to say that.
Yeah, I'm happily married with 3 kids
Yeah, I'm
in
sure.
New York
I'm
City.
sure.
No one fucks me in the ass.
Yep.
And you can't predict my divorce like I predicted your divorce.
Yeah. How much does your wife keep up with your personal life, Gavin?
So,
What?
Wait,
How much does your wife keep up with your personal life, Gavin?
My wife is intimately involved in my personal life.
Okay.
No black men fuck my
Wait,
wife.
so talking about
and
Trump,
I
are we
didn't
able
get
to get?
divorced.
Are we,
Did I not predict your divorce?
I'm sorry, I don't have much to say.
Stephen, let's get back to Trump. So let's move on from his court case and talk about this now. Right now,
Starbucks and Budweiser.
2024. It's a tiebreaker. Anyone could win. Gavin, why are you supporting Trump?
I mean, look at him. Why wouldn't he? Look at this dude.
I'm sorry, I actually feel kind of icky watching this right now, to be honest with you. It's just kind of weird, but whatever. Let's finish this.
I said, look at this dude. Why wouldn't he? You're fucking insane. You're 2 peas in a pod.
Okay. Great argument. I'm supporting Trump because politics is downstream from culture, and there's a great book by
Man, I wish they had a podcast together. They should have a podcast together.
Lena Zito called The Great Revolt. And what she discovered when she was so confused by everyone being against Obama, she assumed it was racism. And she discovered that the problem with Obama was this culture of shame and self-hatred, ethnomasochism, and disgust that the elites have for the average American. And that's what pissed them off about Obama. You know, he had the head of NASA going on tour talking about what Muslims did for mathematics instead of trying to get anything into space. Americans want to be proud again because they should be. And Trump's culture is no more shame, meritocracy, we're the greatest country in the world. He basically wants to make America 1985 again with jet skis and wet t-shirt contests and wraparound sunglasses.
Man, I've never heard it put like that. I'm not saying, wow, Trump's great for that. See, these are all the reasons. These are all the reasons that I'd say if Trump respected the Constitution, etc. I mean, that's a huge no-no for me, right? Like Sam Harris talks about, at this point, he would vote for Mitt Romney. I would too. But Trump is messing with the Constitution, and that's something that just, it scares me, to be honest with you. And even like a third term possibility. Why are we all thinking that? We're all thinking that, and that's it. Honestly, that keeps him away from Trump. But on the other side of it, when he puts it like that, wet t-shirt contests and jet skis and, and hot shorts and just let's go chase some girls stuff. I'll be honest with you, I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that because I'm not an asshole. I'm not a piece of shit. Men enjoy fun, girls enjoy fun, people enjoy fun. We don't want to be so stressed out. We don't want to think about everything all the time. And when you're stressed out and thinking about everything all the time, then you're creating problems out of nothing. And I do agree with, I just don't know if we can get back there in this manner. I don't think this is the way to get back to the simpler times. Oh man, I'd love it to be 85, the 90s. Oh my God, even the 2000s, before 2010. Oh my God, you could do anything. You look at the state of wrestling, it was just crazy. Jerry Springer being on TV, just Ren and Stimpy was on Nickelodeon for kids. I mean, come on. That's kind of something I agree with. Not even kind of, I agree with that. It's just like, take it easy, relax. There's weird, gross stuff in the world and we can't hide from it. We can also laugh about it and not be rapists, and not be butt grabbers and whatnot. I don't know. We can make jokes about things and laugh with the people who are being joked on, and then the next joke comes to us, right? I'm talking about races. It's fine. I used to laugh my ass off when black people were talking about white people and like going, I mean, obviously, like, so it was some vitriol. It was funny. I don't know. That makes me a little old fashioned, I think, a little out of step with today. But still, Trump doesn't seem to be the way to go. And originally, it was the Democrats who were more going down that track of like, hey, anything goes, let's go. And it was the conservatives, the Republicans back then who were saying, no, we have to get rid of Ren and Stimpy, and we have to get... So it's really done a flip. It's done a big flip. So it's not about me being conservative. I mean, I might be ex-democratic. I might be ex-leftist. Like really let me express and let me see and don't tell me how I feel and don't tell me what I am. Just because I enjoy a joke doesn't mean I'm this, or this. Now that's flipped over to the right. And that's just what it is. I don't know, man. And as I lose friends just saying things like that. What a shame that you lose friends, when you say things like that. But then if you hang out with those friends for long enough, you have a couple drinks, boom, you're fucking joking and laughing and telling bad jokes and dirty jokes and doing all kinds of things. Those things. You're doing all these things that, I don't know, man. There's one thing where we show our face to the public and where we're afraid, and then there's another where we feel safe and secure and bonded, and we're different people. And I'm always like, hey man, just be honest about it. I think that's what happened on the right. Now they're trying to conserve freedom of speech, and I do agree with this. There really is a strange attitude about it that is kind of lazy, and I'm circling McInnes' head right now. I don't know, it's weird.
He basically wants to make America 1985 again, with jet skis and wet t-shirt contests and wraparound sunglasses. Back when we had a sense of humor and we were fun, before political correctness ruined our culture. So I'm for Trump because he's pro-American culture, and that is not Kamala. She is about shame.
That is a tough point. Really, I mean, you heard what I just said about all that, but that's like Clint Eastwood also said, oh, America's lost its sense of humor. You couldn't make a movie like Dirty Harry anymore. Man, I'm just so sick of overthinking every time I want to express something. Has it helped me a little bit to overthink? A little bit, yes, but mostly it made me paranoid as fuck. Like I was living in Ubud during COVID. Ubud is very, very left, very spiritual, very let's consider everything, but there's also orgies going on, masked with Tantra Buddhism, calling orgies Tantra Buddhism, yeah. But then I moved to Canggu, which is more freewheeling, like wet t-shirts and jet skis, and there was comedy and comedy shows making fun of everybody. I think I mentioned this before, but anyway, I was like, oh, thank God. So I appreciate this. I'm in the center, but I believe in healthcare, for fuck's sake.
And that is not Kamala. she is about shame.
Stephen, I'll ask you just to respond to Gavin, and I just want to point at one point that Gavin said. Gavin talked about political correctness. A lot of people on the right and a lot of people around America look at what's happening and they see the Democrat Party, as a party of political correctness that does take away a bit from that's what they do talk about. A lot of people do see the Democrat Party as a party of political correctness. What's your thoughts on that?
Spit it out, pal.
These are like unserious issues for unserious people. If you spend all day on Twitter and you're obsessing over trans people, being in sports or whatever woke mind virus, whatever bullshit. I don't care about that. I care about the structure of our government. I care about the powers of the president. I care about our foreign policy. I care about our domestic issues.
Okay, so he doesn't necessarily disagree with him. He just doesn't care. Okay, got it. Yeah. All right. That's why I kind of like Destiny, However, I do slightly disagree with them. I think it is important.
They're the things that matter. And on every single level, Trump has failed in all of these things. So why would I... so I don't know. I'm not going to vote for some guy because he's less woke than the other person. Also, hold on. I got a package. I'm going 1 second, okay? You can talk, Gavin, though, because nothing you say is valuable anyway.
Being less woke links down to immigration. It links down to inflation. It is linked to foreign policy. All of that stuff. It's all the same.
Okay, sorry. Gavin's mom needed me for a second.
See, another reason that you don't exist in real life is the way you talk. If we were in person, you would be choked out right now.
It's true.
If we were in person, you'd probably be drunk off your ass and get arrested and thrown in the fucking tank, okay?
Yeah, I would be arrested for assaulting you.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
That's why you talk the way you talk.
Okay.
You
so he does want to hurt him.
People say that, and then I see him in real life, and they're just these demure little submissive boys, so I don't know. Maybe. Listen, if you see me, you beat the shit out of me, okay? Knock yourself out.
You let men fuck you in the ass! You define submissive!
Demure.
Do you think about that a lot, Gavin?
No, but you call me a cuck and say I'm submissive? It's insane.
What, you seem obsessed with talking about other men and their sex lives.
You brought it up. You called me a cuck, moron.
You started talking about my
calling
shit
him
for
a cuck
you
in the
literally
very
started the
beginning.
conversation off calling me a cuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oops.
You define culturally the fall of man.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, okay, he makes good points, but then you can't take seriously the continuance, the chain of thought, right? As things are dynamically happening. This is where the right breaks down. You ask them to get down to brass tacks. And, where's the basement in Pizzagate, in Ping Pong Pizza, what's the email address for the cabal, and what's the proof, let's say, of rigged elections? I'm ready. I'm listening. And it'll go, oh, you're just hypnotized, It breaks down, and that's my problem with the right. That's my problem with Trump. That's my problem with all this stuff, is I'm open to listen, but they can never put the money where the mouth is when it comes to actually going, all right, let's get down to it.
You literally started the conversation off calling me a cuck.
Yeah. You define culturally the fall of man. And the way you talk to me is proof of that.
Okay.
I think that's a little extreme. I like this idea about weak culture makes downtimes in economy. Downtimes in economy makes strong men. Strong men makes strong economy makes weak men. I believe in this cycle. I do. So it's just a cycle, but at the same time, can we not bust through this cycle? Is it impossible? That's the real question I have. Can we break through this up and down? Is there a new age of enlightenment coming? And I think really for me, part of it is, can you maintain your rhetoric? Can you keep your, maybe that's not the right way to say it. Can you keep your stream of thought? Can you articulate your argument clearly? Can you go down to your actual beliefs instead of saying, you're the fall of man? You called me a cuck. Well, yeah, I called you a cuck too. Right, okay.
Want to talk about immigration?
Sure.
We need to close the borders. Every country's concerned about immigration. If you don't have
He
borders,
does
you don't
make
have a
me
country.
laugh.
If you don't have an
He's making
electoral
Desi
process,
laugh too.
You don't have a country, and we're doing real bad on both.
Why is it okay that Trump shut down the border bill that was in Congress?
Do you honestly support that border bill, or are you just kidding?
The Republicans supported it until Trump told them not to.
No, Trump told them not to. That doesn't mean they supported it.
They did.
That border bill wanted to process more illegals. I don't want that. You know how many people want to fuck Eva Mendes? Millions. I don't want to facilitate that. Only one guy gets to fuck her, Ryan Gosling. 3/4 of the world wants to come to America. The answer is no. Well, I don't want to process them more. I also don't like that bill because it's got a bunch of fucking bullshit earmarked for Ukraine and all kinds of other bullshit. It's just like their Inflation Reduction Act. It does the opposite of what it says it's going to do. That bill wasn't about closing the borders. It was about facilitating more illegals.
Is that true?
Yes, Stephen, why didn't they just do one single bill about immigration?
They did. They tried it. He's just lying. The Republicans just lie like they breathe. They did try to do one single bill. The Republicans still rejected it.
That's actually, ironically, a lie.
Okay.
So you're talking about lying.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to these things, I kind of trust Destiny more because he literally spends, and to my knowledge and to my experience, he spends a lot of his time on his live streams, which he does seemingly every day, every weekday at least, reading reports and reading documents and reading the papers and reading the actual information that's coming from the very bottom, or I would say very top. When I say bottom, I mean source, you know, but coming from the very top, coming like the first information, the first numbers from the actual institution. So I kind of have to trust Destiny's knowledge about policy and numbers and things like this.
Lying as you lie. They have never proposed anything rational about immigration. It's a very simple concept. It's called closing the borders. You want to get rid of who's here? It's called attrition. You fine employers for hiring illegals, and they all go back with their tails between their legs, like they regularly do when the economy is bad. So the solution to America's plight is largely closed borders. And that, by the way, goes back to what I was saying about cultural. If you're culturally against illegal immigration, that's the first step to having strong borders.
Cool. The U.S. Senate failed Thursday to advance a border security bill as both parties seek to hone their message on immigration policy in the run-up into November's elections. The Senate bill failed to advance on a 43-50 procedural vote. The chamber already rejected the measure as part of a broader foreign aid package earlier this year. When they tried it initially as part of a broader package, it failed. When they tried it on its own, it failed. So you fucking lied, okay?
No, tried it on its own is not on its own. That is a lie. It was not a cohesive, structured bill that was going to.
That's great.
Stop
now you're changing. Yeah, now you're changing the argument. The reality is, if they didn't like it, they could have debated.
You said they tried it with just immigration and it didn't go through.
They tried it with just the border bill. Yes.
No, it wasn't
not
just
part of
the border bill.
not part of Ukraine aid or anything.
More border crossings when the guys in charge weren't even judges. They were just random fucking customs officials who were going to stamp your passport and say you're in.
Yeah, that's not how any of that works.
That's not how it works. They were going to have customs officials do it, but it's not just like stamp the border, you're in. They still have to go through all the processes and all the investigation and all the interviews and all the time it takes to do it. They're just going to do it quicker and kick people out quicker. Either bring people in faster or kick people out faster. That's it. Just make it faster to get them in or out.
Nothing you're saying is
true.
They're
not judges.
So at the end of the day, why did Trump have much
I think
less?
I think there's a paranoia that that bill is just trying to get people in, stamp. And that's not true. And that's just a worry that the right has, and they have a right to have that worry, but also to slow down and say, wait, does that mean? And it just means, no, it doesn't mean that people are going to come in. It means that we're going to have a faster process. Because judges, there's only so many judges you can bring on to do something like that. They have to be elected and all kinds of stuff. The left can say, you know, the judges have to be elected. There's only so many, so we need more people. And the right can say, well, how are they qualified? They're just going to be influenced by the left to let people in and let people in and let people in. I mean, these are all valid points. But if there's hard and fast rules.
Literally nothing you're saying is true.
They're not judges.
So at the end of the day, why did Trump have much less border encounters than Biden?
Yeah, I wonder.
Well, I mean, for one, he had COVID. He had Title 42. He could literally shut down and reject people for asylum seeking using Title 42 because of.
No, it was way before COVID border crossings were down.
They weren't down that much from Obama. What do you mean? Look at the immigration stats.
12 million people crossed the border under Biden. That's as many as Ellis Island in its entirety. Its entire 85 years. We've had 12 million fucking illegals. And
they're not illegals also. They're people that are seeking asylum. That's not an illegal immigrant, but
the quality of immigrants we're getting these days is.
That's also another point that gets thrown around quite a bit, and something he debates a lot is people seeking asylum are not illegal. They're here legally, unless they run away from the process, then it's illegal. So everyone's just blanket calling on the right, blanket calling them illegals, and of course that creates a stigma of anyone who's not from the country or hasn't been accepted yet means they're illegal. That is not good. And obviously, it just makes it really easy to just call them illegals and not like them. I don't like that. I might want to close the borders. I might want to make it tougher for immigrants to come in, or at least more efficient and more transparent. But I do want to be fair about it. That's my stance.
Alarmingly bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not destitute families looking for a job.
Well, if we would have allocated more money to the border for asylum judges to make rulings on that, we'd be able to do border faster.
They weren't judges. You know they weren't judges.
Some of the funding was allowing for judges. Yes, some of the funding went towards judges.
I'm not allotting more money. Three-quarters
then
of the
don't
world
allot more
wants to
money. Then
fund
have
you,
the
dude.
system be
Go
backed up and
outside.
have all
Go
the
to
people in
border.
here on waiting
to
for
the
their court
border.
date and then
You've
sit here and
never
bitch
been
about
to
it
the
and do
border.
fucking nothing.
That's what I
This is
mean
all
about how you
Republicans do.
haven't lived.
All conservatives do is they cry all day about everything and they don't fix fucking anything. They've got no solutions. They just suggest pie in the sky shit that they know will never fucking pass. Like, oh, deport for 20 million people and that's it. So that way they can just cry. You're permanent victims.
The border was fixed.
You are a
blame-
permanent victim.
I agree
You
with
like
this.
it. You like being.
That's
a
what I'm
victim.
saying. It is-
Because
it
at the
never
end of the
goes
day,
anywhere.
You're the one that's dreaming about getting fucked in the ass. Okay, that's what you're obsessing with. You like to be a victim.
I wouldn't
You don't want to
pursue the
solve
whole
any
fucking the ass
problems.
thing.
You want to
That's not
sit
a
there
great
on
angle.
I
your
love how it comes back to Destiny's bisexuality and getting effed in the B.
knees and you want to cry. You want to cry about it and not do anything about it. That's
Oh,
all you
I'm
want to
not
do.
crying.
You are. You're crying.
I'm
You're right
getting-
now. The immigrants
I'm
are.
getting mad.
The immigrants are. You're crying like a little bitch.
No, that's not. You're mistaking anger for sadness. I'm not crying liberal
is,
tears.
who gives
I'm
a shit?
having
You're crying
a
conservative
right-wing
tears.
rage
They're
attack
a lot more
at you
delicious.
and other people who don't recognize the border problem.
Democrats did. They try to pass a bill. You guys don't even think there's a border problem. That's why you're
They
like,
tried to
fuck
pass
it.
a garbage
You're like,
bill. It
let's
was a garbage
keep.
bill.
Then why not? Then why not debate it? Then why not debate it in the Senate? Why not reform it? Why not do something different with it?
Because it was irrevocably bad. It was not a strong border bill.
It was a Republican bill. It was authored by Langford in the
Sorry.
Senate. He's a
Sorry.
Republican. The
Dave
Republicans
Springer.
supported the exact same bill years earlier.
Murray
that are the
Povich.
opposite of what they purport to be. It's a scam, and people like you fall for it because you don't go outside.
Oh, yeah.
So you're a victim of propaganda because you just live on the internet.
Oh, okay.
So we can chat GPT you into a fictional person. You're an AI bot.
So Gavin, what
Go
would
to the
the
border,
what would the
dude.
Republican Party
Visit
do with the
someone
border?
with experience life.
What particular things would the
Experience
Republican
life.
Party do to solve the border crisis?
Border crisis. What would Guinness do? McGinnis.
Build a wall, an actual wall that goes from
I'm laughing
that
at
covers
both of
the
them.
entire southern border. Punish those who hire illegals. Let the border guards do their fucking job. Like the last time that they arrested someone, they had the strap that's used to guide a horse correctly. That the administration, because they never been down there, they've never been to West Texas. They just assume it's a whip, and they're whipping illegals. That's where the culture crosses over into politics and actual policy.
I don't know about that, but these are the kinds of things that I detest. You know, when people see something and then they say, "Oh, they're whipping people." Yeah, that I immediately am dubious of claims like that. Just like, "Oh, the government is controlling weather." "Oh, FEMA is blocking people from helping," which might be happening, but for specific reasons, like triage. Triage is very difficult. Anyway, I don't like these claims, and yeah, we should all be dubious when we hear outrageous shit like that, like whipping border crossers.
Where they go, these poor illegals are getting whipped. No, we're just trying to enforce the border. If law enforcement was allowed to do its job, we could have this problem solved in one term. Again, 12 million people under Biden. What a fucking catastrophe. Totally unprecedented.
So what
in
exactly?
American
Sorry,
history.
maybe I missaid, but what exactly will the Republican Party do?
I just said they will punish those who hire illegals. That is an attrition tactic to get them to go home on their own accord.
Isn't it
Rounding
already
them up-
illegal to hire? It's already illegal to hire illegals. What, you're going to
don't
make an
get
illegal
punished.
thing even more illegal? Like,
Okay, how are illegals working then? If it's so
because
illegal?
people, how do thieves steal from stores, Gavin? They break the fucking law. What do you mean?
Yeah, and we don't punish shoplifters for stealing. That's why you have to put plexiglass around your fucking deodorant, and that's why Walgreens and CVS are going bankrupt. We're not allowing law enforcement to do its job.
It's true. For those of you who don't live in the U.S., it's pretty sad. I think I was walking, I think it was CVS or Walgreens or Rite Aid or something in Seattle when I visit my parents, and I'm depressed when I walk in there. It's sad. Number one, there's no one in there. They have to go in to get their drugs, of course, but the shelves are empty. You've got like a can of Dinty Moore stew, in the food section, right? Half the candy is off the hooks. I like candy and Dinty Moore, but it's just empty. And I went to go get some Tums from my friend here in Indonesia. They don't have Tums here, and they don't want berry flavor. And it was really tough to get some Tums, that wasn't just one flavor or something. I mean, I don't care about Tums, but it's just the shelves are empty. No one's going to these things. They're depressing as hell, these stores. And I agree, it's weird. And not being in America, I see the contrast coming back to America and seeing it this way. It's weird. I mean, I really am in the center. I really am. It's just common sense stuff. Have your talking points figured out. Be able to prove everything you're saying. Be able to articulate everything. And so what is that? Is that we could say that's left, and then it's, take it easy, right? Go ahead and joke. Don't give me so many rules, Don't take things out of don't go. I mean, they're horrible. The right is horrible at taking things out of context. I think everyone's horrible at taking things out of context. Don't get outraged at everything, right? But this requires just such a degree of intelligence and self-reflection and self-policing, like yourself, looking into yourself and policing yourself, and to say, is what I'm seeing true? Is what I'm seeing just outrage click, or is it actually something? Is it actually something that's true? And how am I going to verify this information and really make my own decision? That needs to happen on both sides for us to move past this eternal issue that's happening.
We have laws on the books to prevent illegal aliens. They are being prevented from enforcing these laws. That's the problem with all your gay bills, too. We already have great laws. They're just not enforced because they're hamstrung. Fucking Biden sued Texas for putting up a barrier. He sued Arizona for enforcing immigration laws. The government sues the states for enforcing their own fucking laws.
Yeah, because the federal government is what exclusively enforces immigration. It's not up to the states to do it.
No, states put up boundaries. They put up razor wire, and they get sued by the government for doing
so.
I'm going to be honest. I think I'm done watching this, at least commentating on it. But let's watch this last point. But I think I've said everything I need to say about this.
So many people, probably including Gavin, see Trump as a tough guy, maybe even a bully, but a tough guy who will get other people in other countries to listen to him. They see it as a change from Biden, who many saw as very senile and old. So they see it from Biden to Trump, and they want to push their image on the world stage as tough and strong. What do you say to people like that? Can you see why people like Trump because of that?
I mean, Trump is he's a weak man's version of a strong man, a guy that walks around and he screams all the time, and people think that wow, this is a strong dude that gets shit done. He doesn't. He's a fucking joke. Everybody knows he's a fucking joke. That's why when Kamala said his rallies were small, he lost his fucking mind. He needed to bring the answer up twice when he was trying to respond to her question. No, Trump didn't get shit done. Nobody respects him around the world. You see world leaders literally laughing at him when he's making speeches at the UN. You see them laughing at him in groups where they're talking about him. He's a fucking loser, and everybody knows that he's a fucking loser. So I don't know what you want me to say. What did Trump do? What did he get done anywhere internationally? Nobody respected him. Putin didn't respect him. The war continued on in Ukraine. Nobody in the Middle East respected him. Iran attacked Saudi Arabia. Obviously, our allies, Turkey, didn't respect us when they killed all the Kurdish people that we abandoned. The Kurdish people obviously don't respect us. The Afghanistan people don't respect us. We fucking surrendered to the Taliban. North Korea doesn't respect us. They continue to test their nuclear missiles after we, went in and Trump saluted their military like a fucking retard. I mean, what do you want? Who respects Donald Trump besides the sycophantic losers in the United States that think he's such a strong guy because he says retarded shit on a microphone like that?
Can I answer now? Putin was scared of him. I don't care if anyone respects him. I want them to be scared of him. We had no wars during Trump. Kim Jong-un respected him. He was scared of him. He intimidates people. And yes, he does go off at a tangent when you accuse no one going to his rallies, because people do go to his rallies. But it's like calling Mike Tyson a pussy. He's going to overreact and slap you. By the way, I have no respect for international leaders. That's such a queer thing to say, where you respect fucking Merkel or Macron or any of these European dolts. Fuck them. Fuck the Middle East. I don't want anything to do with them. I want them to be scared of America, too scared to attack, so they don't get into wars. And that's what we had. We had unprecedented economic surplus.
So saying F the Middle East is going to get us back into wet T-shirt contests and jet skis. You know, that's just, yeah, I want the wet T-shirts back. But you see what I mean? Just the way, yes, fuck Nazis, fuck Islamic extremists. To just say fuck the Middle East, wow. Yeah, fuck Jewish extremists, fuck Christian extremists, fuck Buddhist extremists. Seriously, you can't just blanket a whole society, right? And there was a lot of people following Nazism, happily, gladly, but still, it's like, okay, how do we punch through this up and down? How do we do that?
During Trump's presidency, immigration was down, inflation was down, unemployment was down, and all Destiny could do is say, well, that was because of COVID. Okay, keep making excuses for why Trump's presidency was such a success and Biden's was such an absolute fucking failure, but the facts remain that we were better under Trump.
Yeah, when Trump left office, the country was like destitute. What do you mean? COVID was ravaging us. The lockdowns were happening in every state. The BLM riots had raged on. I don't.
That was you. That was you guys.
That's great. Trump was president. That's great. Trump was president. That's great. That Trump was president. Trump was president. Trump was president. Who was the president again? Who? Eli, do you know who the president was?
Trump's responsible for your guys rioting?
Oh, okay. So, and Biden's responsible for COVID?
No, Biden is responsible for his retarded border czar who opened the borders to 12 million people.
Okay.
He's responsible for that.
Swinging it on the Kamala.
He's responsible for unprecedented gas prices. He's responsible for inflation, for destroying the economy. Look at the people you support. Look at Joe Biden. Look at Kamala Harris.
So anyway, we're swinging back into it. We're barely halfway through. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. So that's what it is. I mean, that's what I'm gleaning from this. He's an extremist. It's actually funny that he's debating Destiny. I think McInnes is too extreme to debate Destiny. I think Destiny is way more moderate than is appropriate for McInnes. Can extremists debate extremists? Does it work? Does that actually happen? Is that functional? Or is it just pointless for that to happen? But I am having fun watching this. I will probably finish watching this, but I think I've said enough. So I went on to watch the rest of it, and it really just downgrades to just banter back and forth, arguing and screaming and more of the same. So not much to say there. But I just want to include the last question here. So let's just watch the last question.
Okay, so we'll just finish off. I just want to ask one question to each of you. Stephen, let's start with Stephen. If Trump wins, will you accept the election this week?
I don't know if we should. No, I mean, liberals probably will. We just, unfortunately,
That's weird.
You know, Gavin is right a little bit. We are kind of pussies. I don't think we have it in us to basically try to coup the fucking government like Trump did. So probably just accept it, go on and try to win the next election.
Coup? They were trying to take over the government by 2 p.m. with no weapons.
They were heavily discussing the January 6th invasion of the Capitol. Of course, you can tell who was arguing which side.
Did they delay the certification of the vote?
Did they know they were delaying the certification of the vote?
Yes. You dipshit. What do you think they were there to protest?
Wrong.
Yeah, they did.
Do you know how many times the left has drastically delayed government proceedings?
Oh, when was the last time the left delayed the certification of the vote? When was the last time they delayed the certification of the vote?
Do you remember when
I'm
they
not impressed with
the
this.
Supreme Court under Kavanaugh? Remember when the Black Panthers? You probably thought it was cool.
I mean, it's fine, but
stormed the Capitol.
I don't have much to say.
That looked cool.
This is what these things they just degenerate into.
They delayed the certification. Fuck off. They lost their temper.
Yeah, reality sucks.
Got to
Like
get these last things in here. Last
So, Gavin,
batches.
so I'm going to ask you the same question as Stephen. If Kamala Harris wins the election this week, will you and the right accept it?
But that's a loaded bullshit question.
That's the same to Stephen.
If they win a gold medal in the Olympics, will you accept that Russia won the swimming medal? Yes, I will, if they are tested for doping and they did it fair and square. Of course I would accept fair election results, but I want an investigation if Kamala wins because it doesn't make any sense.
Unreal.
He's destroying in the polls, and more importantly, I travel this country. I talk to people. I see the lawn signs. I leave my house.
I love
and I see a
the wet
country
T-shirts
that is head
and
over
jet
heels
skis, but
excited
this,
about
man.
Trump winning. You don't see Kamala lawn signs.
I also believe in class.
But the polls are pretty, in terms of polls, they're pretty
I also
same.
believe in
Trump
having
and Kamala are
class.
basically the same in
No.
polls.
Not the ones that he believes in.
Yeah, that's not the case. The case is that he is absolutely crushing her. And that will be the case on the election if everything is fair. And if that happens, then I'll accept it. If they cheat, I won't. Obviously, you have to check for doping before you accept a gold medal.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Gavin and Stephen.
Okay.
It was,
Thanks a lot.
interesting conversation.
So there's going to be a bunch of look at all this nice stuff that came up here. There's going to be a bunch of investigations from the right if Kamala takes home the election in 2 days or tomorrow. More of the same. Last year, or I would say last election 4 years ago, I got 12-pack of beer. I was in Bali. I sat down. I woke up in the morning, started drinking. Because when I wake up in the morning, it's about 4 p.m., 5 p.m. on the West Coast in America. And I was watching it like a sports game. And the damn thing didn't end. And I kept going. And I kept going into the next day. And then I got addicted to the news cycle. And then I got addicted to 24-hour news. And it was bad until the inauguration. I was basically glued to the news cycle about all this stuff. And wow, it'd be great if we didn't have to go through that again. If Trump wins, he wins. If Kamala wins, she wins. Let's go back, at least go back to that normalcy. You know what I mean? If Trump wins, I'm going to go, okay, he won. Here we go. Right? I'm more worried for Kamala to win. I just don't want to go through, I don't want to see this again. But if we have to, we have to. But yeah. I wouldn't say I'd rather have Trump win than go through Trump, not accepting it. But wow. But if there's any real evidence and there's any real case there, my eyes and ears are open. My heart is open. Show me. I'm not a freaking idiot. Show me. Show me. I can make my own decisions. I don't have to look at something and go, oh, I gotta, right? I go, okay, what's this? What's this? What's that? What's this? What's this? And there's too much inference. There's too much presumption about what these things are on the right that they go, oh, you know what that is. Oh, come on. And it's like, well, because then I'll see the other side and I'll be like, whoa, it's that. And then they'll go, no, it's not, it's this. And I say, oh, come on, you guys know what that is. Come on, guys. You're overthinking it here. That's what I've come to. Make your point very clear. Come on, right? Get your facts straight all the way down to the quick, all the way down to the bone. Tell us where you're getting all this information. Where's the evidence for all this stuff? I'm listening. I'm here, right? And the left, take it easy. Relax. Definitely take responsibility for the amount of perfuming that we do to stories that we hear and applying outrage to something to where we don't really understand what really happened. And we immediately think we're whipping immigrants who come across the border with horsewhips. Let's make the processes stronger at the border. Let's make it quicker. Great. Hire more people. If it has to be border agents, customs agents instead of judges, I'm open to that. It's okay. Process it. Make it fair. Make it a bit robotic. And yeah, there'll be some cases that are gray and have to be considered more carefully. And that's the way duality works in this dualistic world, relative world that we live in. Save the non-duality for the sitting on the cushion and meditating and staring at the wall, which I do, which I just did. And then when you come to this world, man, sometimes you got to flip a freaking coin. When you don't know what to do, when you don't know whether or not to let this immigrant into the United States, sometimes you just got to flip a coin. But let's eliminate as much of it as we can with clear policy and a fast system and just start dealing with this. And this will lower the amount of people coming in through the border. Let's get facts figured out for ourselves so we just don't have baseless claims about basements in Pizzagate and people sharing emails about pizza toppings, which means we're going to be pedophiles with children. Figure out your own vetting system. That's the only thing we can do. That's the only thing we can do. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I'm in Bali right now, and I'm thinking about writing a book, and I'm thinking about opening a restaurant. You have yourself a great election and a great week. This probably will be the last video before the election. So vote for who the fuck you want, ladies, gentlemen. Doesn't matter what your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. brother, sister, etc. is voting for. Make your own vote. Do it. You're safe. Make your own vote. Because I know all of these very intense woke people are going to pressure you. Those are the ones who are intimidating voters. Yeah. Oh, I hope you know what I'm saying. Okay. Thanks, guys. See ya. I like your moves. Ooh. And I don't have to vote because I'm from Washington, so it's kind of open and shut. If you're from Pennsylvania, vote.